Hey, how's it going? Welcome back. This is Amy. If you're new, welcome too. And yeah, how's it going? It is Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, I like to say. Cold coffee, hot day, another one, another hot day. Not as hot as it's been the last few days. We're supposed to be dipping back in below the hundreds here. It will be really nice. Anywho, today we are doing the second part of the rest of the year's book reviews that I haven't got to. So that is January through May. No, I didn't do any till this last the last book video um on this last Thursday. I did part 1, but I just did June and July. So I'm up to date there, but I'm behind on the rest of the year. So we're just going to get them. It's probably going to be a really rush through because we'll see how much I remember. I have some books that are mine that I have read, and then there's others that are from the library or online or an audiobook. I don't remember. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. A book review. Thanks for coming back. Again, if you like it, hit like. If you don't, I'm sorry, it is what it is. Okay, so I have a show and tell first. I went to the dollar store last week, and they have their fall stuff out already. I wasn't gonna get anything of that nature, well, there, but I spotted this little decoration, and I had got some mini lights before for last year for Christmas. I wanted some little teeny tiny, the colored lights. I have a little mini tree, and I found some, and then they had I think it was last year. They had some little pumpkin lights and little leaves. So this year I found their little purple bats. Uh, and so I thought, oh, I need to have those little purple bats. Those are good for Halloween. I like purple. I think purple's my favorite color, one of my favorite colors. So yeah, little bats. They were $1.25. Yeah, nothing's a dollar anymore at the dollar store. It's $1.25. They need to change their name. Um, oh, comes with this little battery operated. I haven't put batteries in it. This is the lights. And does it say how many lights? It says 12 lights. Okay. So if I could be smart, sometimes we have our days. And unwind. Man, I tell you what, this is like kid proof. This stuff nowadays. Oh, that didn't happen. Um, it's just like doing Christmas lights. Oh God, I should have did this before. This isn't going well. I don't have the can't. Oh, there we go. I think the trick is to just stop and relax and just let it fall where it may. Probably. Yeah. Okay. So we have our lights. You said, there we go. Little bat, little purple bats. And it is, I don't know how long it is. It's 12 lights. So let's see how long it is. Yeah. 4.3 feet. And if you're a meters person, it's 1.3 meters. I'm a feet person. So there you go. Yeah. So I got that at the dollar store. What's this? Now that that's unraveled, get it out of the way. Yeah, my purchase, the dollar store chapstick. Again with the Aloha coconut. Using a lot of chapstick this summer. Lips dry out. You got to keep them moisturized. Okay, let's get on with the show, shall we? Enough show and tell. enough idle chit chat of randomness. So we're gonna go over January. I didn't read, and it may sound like a lot of books, but it's not because I haven't had a really good reading up to this point. I think June was my best reading month, so there's only maybe a couple, 2 or 3 books per month. It's not very many. So January, I read, get rid of some things, Hairpin Bridge by Taylor Adams. He wrote No Ex I have No Exit. I haven't read it yet, but this is the first one of his I've read. And I don't know what else he's read. Yeah, No Exit, I know. I'm sure there's another one somewhere. Our Last Night and Eye Shot. That's what it says. Anyway, I really like this book. Okay. I really, really liked it. Um, I gave it 5 stars. It just had me intrigued and it kept me wanting to keep on reading. It was 338 pages, and this was a thriller. And let's see, it was about. I'll just read you the back. Probably is the best interpretation of this book I can give. It says 3 months ago, Lena Nguyen's strange twin sister Cambry drove to a remote bridge 70 miles outside of Missoula, Montana, and jumped 200 feet to her death. At least that's the official police version. But Lena isn't buying it. Okay. Okay. I had to pause. And I mistakenly stopped the video. So we're continuing. We're in the same spot. And yeah, so her twin sister thinks her twin did not uh jump off the bridge. Says now she's come to that very bridge driving her dead twin's car and armed with a cassette recorder, determined to find out what really happened by interviewing the highway patrolman who allegedly discovered her sister's body. Corporal Raymond Rakovic. Racevic. That's how I'm pronouncing it. Has agreed to meet Lena at the scene. He is sympathetic, forthright, and professional, but his story still seems a bit off. For one thing, he stopped Cambry for speeding just an hour before she supposedly leaped to her death. Then there are 16 attempted 911 calls from her cell phone made in what was unfortunately a dead zone. But perhaps the most troubling of all is Cambry's final enigmatic text to her sister that began, "Please forgive me. Lena will do anything to uncover the truth, but as her twin's final hours come into focus, Lena's search turns into a harrowing, tooth and nail fight for her own survival, one that will test everything she thought she knew about her sister and herself." Anyway, so yeah, so that was a good one. I gave it 5 stars. Um, I got this I think I got it at the Goodwill. Looks like a Goodwill tag. Yeah. So I keep my price tags on there. I do. I know some people hate it, the tags on the thing, but I remember where I got it and how much I paid for it. So anyway, it's my thing. Um, yeah. So this is really good. It was captivating, thriller. Um, you're really wanting to know, did she kill herself? Was there something else that happened? Was it an accident? Was it meant to happen? Somebody murder her? And then you have this cop in the mix. And then yeah. So basically what it said on the back is what happened. But in the background of this story there is a forest fire is starting, or has been. I think it has been, but I think probably the middle or the last half of the book they don't really talk about this fire's going on, and it's getting closer and it's getting closer. It's like the climax of the book. It's getting closer. This fire's getting closer and you're getting closer to the truth, and they're like going to converge all at one time. Boom. Yeah. So that was interesting to me. A little background stuff with the plot, but yeah, I don't know what I could say about this without giving stuff away, but it was a really good book. Gave it 5 stars. Um I really want to read his other one, No Exit. I don't know when I'm going to get to that, but I did like this book, so I have high hopes with the other book. And I know the other book, No Exit, it's on there's a movie. They made a movie. I want to say it's on Hulu. I want to say it's on Hulu because it's on that would mean it would be on, excuse me, Disney too, because Disney and Hulu are partners. Anyway, I want to see that movie, but I don't want to see the No Exit before I actually read it. So, yeah. So that was Hairpin Bridge, Taylor Adams. And the next one is, oh, I should have kept that to there. Um, Influencer by Adam. I say Cesar, Caesar, Cesar, whatever you want to call his last, say his last name. Um, it's a new one. It's well, it came out in 2024. I think it came out the end of 2024. So when I read it, it was new. I got it from the library, borrowed it. It's 368 pages, and I gave that one 5 stars too. I really liked it. It had a little well, it's about a social media influencer, and he moves to a new town, or he ends up in a new school. It's in high school. I think he might be a senior or something. And there is so it's a, I think, yeah, it's a young adult thriller horror. Um, yeah, this one kept me on my toes too. I really like this one. The main character, I want to say, is Crystal. She she's kind of a loner, but she belongs to this little group of people, this little clique at high school. They sit together at lunch and they carpool and whatever to school, and they are Trevor, Paul, Gail, and Harmony. And she's really good friends with can't remember which one. I think it's Harmony and her best friends. And then the new kid is Aaron Fortin. Um, and he's like a good-looking guy, new at school, has some money. I think he's a rich kid, has a nice car. And these kids, they're not the little clique that Crystal's in. They're not rich. They they carpool in the friends. I think it's Trevor. His van. He has a van, and I want to call it a soccer mom van. Um, anyway, they're pretty good for Paul and Gail, I think. They're not as good as friends to Crystal as probably Trevor and Harmony, but anyway, they carpool, go to the same school. They eat lunch together. They interact together, so it's all good. Um but yeah, so once Aaron comes to school, there's something going on with him. He's a little so at the beginning of this book, if I remember correctly, there is a murder that happens at the beginning, and then it switches to this story with this Aaron, and he's going to a new school, and he's wanting to make some new friends, but he's he has a social he's a social media person, but he has a secret he's like anonymous. He has an anonymous alter ego. And right away, it's not a spoiler, right away, Crystal figures out that he is this anonymous social media guy. And she calls him out on it because he comes over and wants to sit at their table, like at the beginning. For some reason, he picks them out that he wants to be friends with. And she calls him out on being this anonymous social media guy. And he kind of is like taken aback and can't believe that she's saying that he is this person, which he is. And he's trying to deny it, but anyway, I think some point he comes clean with her, and I don't know if the other ones believe her that he is that, or I think he ends up telling them, the other ones, yeah. So anyway, there's a whole thing. He's kind of just really suspicious. There's something weird with him going on, and Crystal kind of can feel the vibe of it. Something's not right, and nobody else is believing her. And then some things happen, and everybody thinks she's freaking out, and she's just gone off the rails. And he's just making like he's this nice guy, and he's being friends with the others. Then at some point, she gets like banished from the group because of all her antics on trying to prove that he's a bad guy. But it was really interesting. I liked it. I like the ending of it, how it ended. I did like the ending. It was really good. Well, for me, it was really good. So I don't know. You'll have to read it. But yeah, I thought this will be a good turn it into a movie too. I think. But anyway, yeah. So it's just a little social media influencer thriller horror mystery um story, and it's set in, I'm trying to think where the, I want to say the Pacific Northwest, but I'm not really sure. I don't think so. I don't know. I'm getting the settings mixed up in the books now. But anyway, so yeah, I gave that 5 stars. I really liked it. And sorry, I gotta put these back together so I know where they're. And then for February, I read 3 books. Ooh. And the first one I have is, it's a little short. It's called A Book Shot. It's by James Patterson. It's called The Medical Examiner. So he put out these little books. They're little book shots. They're just really short reads, a little thriller, short thriller. They are under, I think they're meant to be under 200 pages. Um, and this one is, pages is that? He has a bunch of them apparently. I had just, when I seen this, I got it at the library sale. So when I seen this, I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." Maybe it's, they're under 200, maybe 100, maybe they're under 150 pages. I don't know, because this is 125 pages, and it's just a short. It's just a really a short thriller. That it's like the thriller part of a bigger book, but it would just be like the really important part. I guess I don't know how to explain it. But this is the Women's Murder Club. So he has a series called the Women's Murder Club. James Patterson, that he writes with Maxine, and I really really like that series. It's a group of women who have this. They one's a police. It's set in San Francisco. One's a police detective. One's a reporter. One's a medical examiner, and one is a lawyer. I think that's it. Yeah. So it's just they all have to do with crime or reporting on crime. Um, and so it's just it's a good series. I've been reading the series since he started it, and his series starts out like the first one's called First to Die, and then you have Second Chances. So his series goes in the numerical title. So, and then he has a bunch of book shots. I don't even know how many, but this is this is what he's got. And so I thought this was really neat. It's just a really short read if you want to read something and you don't have a lot of time. I mean, you could do it in one setting. I don't think I did it in one setting because I just get I am easily sidetracked. Even if it's 125 pages, I can't just sit and read 125 pages unless it's at night. And I didn't. I read it, I think, mostly in the daytime. But yeah, I really like these little book shots. I have some more. I have about, I don't know, maybe 5 more. But because I really like the Women's Murder Club. But this is about, let's get to this. It says 2 bodies arrived at the morgue. One is still breathing. One was still breathing. It says a rich woman checks into a hotel room and entertains a man who is not her husband. A shooter blows away the lover and wounds this millionairess, leaving her for dead. Is it the perfect case for a women's murder club or just the most twisted? So the ladies get together usually when they get a case if it's strange, and they end up trying to solve it together with all their their knowledge of their career and things like that. Um so yeah, and it's set in San Francisco, so that's where the women's murder club is set. And so yeah, so this lady, she is at a hotel with a guy. It's not her husband. Somebody comes in, shoots him, leaves her. She's wounded, leaves her, and she ends up waking up in the morgue. They thought she was dead. She is not, and freaks freaks the medical examiner. His name is Claire. Freaks her out, and then she so one of the ladies is ends up going on vacation with her husband, and she's not really in this story a lot, which is Lindsay Boxer is the I say the main character. She's not the main character. She's the detective. So she's not really in this one. She's in it at the beginning, and then she comes back in it at the end. But it's basically the medical examiner, the reporter, and the lawyer, I think. But yeah, so that was fun. That was a fun little read, and it was very short, and I really enjoyed it, and it made me want to get some more of his little book shots. And I'm trying to think, there was a list of them I showed you, but then he has different. So James Patterson has a lot of series, and he has co-writers with his work because as many books he puts out a year. I mean, he can't do it all by himself. There's no way. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. He might have the ideas and get the notes or whatever. However, I don't know how he does it, but he does have co-writers because they're always listed on his books. And he has the Alex Cross series, which I absolutely love. That's how I came across James Patterson. Is before I got to the Women's Murder Club, I was reading the Alex Cross series, and I really, really loved it because I found the way I came about it was there was going to be a movie coming out. This is a long time ago. I'm dating myself, but Kiss the Girls was coming out on as a movie, and I had seen the previews and I really liked it. And Ashley Judd was in it, and Morgan Freeman was in it, and I knew I was going to really like it. And then I found out it was a book series by James Patterson. It was from a book series, and so I ended up getting the book. They had it at Sam's Club a long time ago, the hardback, Kiss the Girls, and I read it and I absolutely loved it. I loved it. I loved the Cross series. I loved Alex Cross, his character. And since then, there's been several Alex Cross movies, or there's an Alex Cross movie they did with, what's the guy? He does Medea, which I did not pick him being Alex Cross at all, but I can't think of his name right now. I'll pop it up as soon as I think of it. But I did not picture him being Alex Cross because he's did these other funny characters and stuff that it just threw me off. But I thought he did a really good job. And Tyler Perry, that's it. Tyler Perry plays Alex Cross, and then they have a series they did on Prime, Amazon Prime. I don't know the name of that guy. He's a new guy, but he plays a kind of a younger than Tyler Perry character. Alex Cross, and I really like that series. I binged watched it. I don't know if there was 6, 7, 8 episodes. I don't remember, but I really like that series. Um, so anyway, so James Patterson, I usually love anything James Patterson. I don't think I've came across a book that I've read of James that I didn't like, but I like detective, police procedural, thriller, stuff like that. I really like a good detective. Oh, here's messing up. A really good detective series. I don't know. I'm a sucker for cops and detectives. Okay. So anyway, so there's that one. And then I read, this is another detective police procedural thriller. This is a British one. It's a British police detectives. Well, the lady, it's Erica Foster, Detective Erica Foster, but her she's originally from Eastern Europe, and I can't remember where. So we're just saying Eastern Europe because she's not originally British, and she moved there when she was young. So anyway, that being said, she this is The Girl in the Ice by Robert Brinza. He has a series. This I came across this at Goodwill, about a book I got at Goodwill. $1.99. And the cover looked really good. And then when I read the back, I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna like this. And then I seen it was a female detective, which, that's I really like to have female detectives stories because honestly, you don't get enough of those. It's always been written about male detectives, and we're coming into our era, ladies. We're getting all the main parts. It's great. Um, but yet, so this was about. Oh, I did rate it 4 stars, not 5. I did really like it. I did, and I have two. There's 5. I think it's 5 in a series so far. I think there's 5, and I have the next. I know I have the next one. I thought I got the next two. I think I got the next two. So anyway, this is her eyes are wide open, her lips parted as if to speak, her dead body frozen in the ice. She is not the only one. When a young boy discovers the body of a woman beneath a thick sheet of ice in the South London park, Detective Erica Foster is called in to lead the murder investigation. The victim, a beautiful young socialite, appeared to have the perfect life, yet when Erica begins to dig deeper, she starts to connect the dots between the murder and the killings of 3 prostitutes, all found strangled, hands bound, and dumped in the water around London. The dark secret, the dark secrets is the girl. I can't read. Again, it's Tuesday. What dark secrets is the girl in the ice hiding? As Erica inches closer to uncovering the truth, the killer is closing in on Erica. But will she get in before he strikes again? Yeah. So it had a good little thrill in there. I liked. I don't know what I apparently I tabbed some things because there was a poem. It was really good. There was a poem in here about grieving, you know, sad, mourning, grieving. Um, yeah. So she's had a little bit of trauma in her life and she's back. She had been on break from detectiving and she was in another uh police station area and she got sent to help out on this murder that was happening to this different police station area and I should know better words to describe that than what I'm saying, but and so she's back on the job after she's had some trauma and some things happened while at work. Um and so now she's helping solve this case cuz she's supposed to be like one of the best detectives, and this guy that's running the show, the chief, I guess he is. They go back a little. I think they were at the academy together or something like that. They go back. They go way back. They know each other for a long time. But the way that he is, you would think that they weren't that close, but because he's kind of rough, like an ass at a lot. But I think it's because that's just the way he has to do his job. And then this is a high profile case because it's a young socialite that's been killed, and the family is putting pressure on the police, like you know it normally would be. And there's just a whole lot goings on there with the family, and there's the pressure to solve the case. Um, just as far as the community goes, and then she's thinking that this killer is connected to some prostitutes that were killed, so it just goes from there. And I just thought it was really good. I really liked it. I really liked her, this character. She doesn't have any kids. She has she has thought she had a sister. I can't remember. Anyway, but she's alone. She's by herself. While she's in town solving this case, she's staying at a I don't know where she's staying. It's an apartment building. She got an apartment, yeah, somewhere. Anyway, and then she seems like somebody's stalking her too at the same time. So yeah, very fun. I liked it. 4 stars. Police procedural, British detective. Like I said, she's from I can't remember where she's from. I want to say I'm throwing out guesses. It's Romania, it's Czechoslovakia, something. Eastern Europe is a better guess. Uh, but yeah, but she came to she was younger. I don't know if she was an adult younger or a kid. Anywho, the next one, I'm getting lost in what I'm doing. I read a little short. I read this I started in January, but I just wasn't getting through it, and it took me so long to get through. And it's a very short book, and it's a cozy mystery, and I like it. I like the writer. It's Fresh Ground Murder by Tanya Kappas. She has these little short cozy mysteries. I really like her stuff. This one is she has a couple of series. One's a camping, like a campsite camping, like one of the series is a lady owns a campground, and then another one there's like a little he's a reporter for a local paper in this small town, and then this is another small town. This lady, the main character, runs the local coffee shop, and yeah, so this is a Christmassy one, and in her books she has recipes for, so this one has some coffee, and this is a holiday one, so it has a little bit of holiday recipes, like ugh, if I could get to the page. It's not so the name of the little coffee shop in this town is called the Bean Hive. um and so they have a Christmas harvest blend coffee, soul harvest chicken soup, gingerbread mischief, animal treats, because she has this little dog. It's a little can't think of the name of that dog. She has a little dog like that. She adopted. And praline. So she has little dog treats she makes. And also the one thing I liked about it is there's a pet store, pet shop in town too, and they help with getting animals adopted, getting cats and dogs and other little animals they have to. So they have, like, at Christmas they had a paw parade, and then they had like a little booth. There was like a little Christmas fair at Christmas time, and one of the booths was helping get the animals adopted. So I really like that. And then Christmas coffee bean bark, Meemaw's Christmas coffee punch, and pumpkin cookies. So there is like little recipes if you want to try, and they do talk about these in the book. The all this people order the, or they got to make, she has to come in the morning and make her Christmas blend coffee, but it's a really short book. um i I really like, it's just a little cozy mystery. It is pages. It's under 200 pages. It is without the recipes. It is 130. I cannot turn pages. 132 pages. So it's a good little Christmas cozy mystery with a little dog on it, and it has coffee. What more can you ask for? So, oh, probably should, let's just read the back. It says holidays have arrived and nothing is going to steal the joy of Roxanne Bloom's first Christmas in Honey Springs. So that's the name of the town, is Honey Springs. So her coffee shop is the Bean Hive. The town's annual Christmas in the park is underway, and includes a Christmas paw parade that'll help the furry residents of the Pet Palace to get a home for Christmas. It's not the four-legged creatures that steal the show; it's the pair of legs sticking out from under the Christmas tree lighting ceremony that has all the town talking. The suspects are piling up faster than the falling snow. While a murderer is on the loose, Roxy can't let this ruined her first Christmas in Honey Springs, and soon realizes it's the ghosts of Christmas past that holds the real clues. But can she get this mystery solved in time for the holidays? Includes holiday recipes from the Bean Hive. It was a cute little mystery. And it wasn't that it took it so long because it was the book of the it was me. As my head was all over the place and not really. I started out really into it, and then I got sidetracked with other things, and of course it's the holidays. So, it's the way it goes. So that was Freshly Ground Murder by Tanya Kappas. I did give it 3 stars. I liked it. It was okay. It was a cozy mystery. Um, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that's what I gave it. Um, And then the next one I read, this is March. So those were February. I had 3 in February. And then March, I think I did 2. No, 2? Yeah. One's a DNF. I did have a DNF. I don't hardly ever DNFs, but I did and it's not a DNF that I wouldn't never pick it back up. It was a DNF because I just, I just couldn't read it at the time. I just wasn't into it. The mood wasn't there. I just, I'm a very moody reader. That's all I'm going to say. But this one is, let's go to the DNF. DNF it was a romance. I don't read a lot of romance. I had my romance era back in the day, and I don't really read a lot of those, but this is Cute by Meryl Wilsner. It's a cute little romance. It's a sports romance. I don't think I had read a sports romance. No, well, that wasn't a romance. I have read sports things. I read, Taylor Jenkins Reid, um, Carrie Soto is Back. That's a sports one, but it's not really a romance. It was not. It's a drama. I did like that one. This one, it's all about, it's a women's soccer team. And they're starting, as far as I don't even remember. I DNF'd at page 132, and it's 324 pages. And it's a girls soccer team, and so there's a team that gets together that's going to be the national team. I don't know a lot about soccer. I watch it occasionally for like the FIFA World Cup, and I don't really know I don't know the rules. I don't know the positions. I know goalie. Um, yeah, and I never played it, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Um, anyway, so there's this national team that I think they're going to compete for, FIFA or whatever. And then there's their individual, like basketball, baseball has their individual teams, different states. So this starts out, they're practicing, I think they coming together for the national team and having a practice. Then they go their separate ways, and everybody gets on their own team. And then these two girls, one's new to the professional soccer. She's just out of college, I think. And then the other girl she's a professional, and she's been doing this for a while, and she's been on I don't know if she's been on the Olympic team or the national team a few times. Anyway, so this new chick is like, um the vet she kind of likes the veteran, and the veteran doesn't want to have anything to do with anybody. She just wants to concentrate on soccer. So that's what I got out of it so far. And there was a spicy moment already in the beginning. And so it's a spicy book if you want to pick it up, but it's not that I just don't want, I just wasn't, my head wasn't in it for the romance. I wanted thriller action, that type of thing. So I did DNF it at 132 pages. I may at some point get back to it if I feel like reading a romance. I don't know. But that was Cute. And that came out in 2023. So, and the next one I read was Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. I really like this book. This is my first Gillian Flynn. I had seen the movie Gone Girl, and I have the book Gone Girl, and I haven't read it yet, but I heard a lot of good things about this one, and I heard it's very dark places, and it was really good. I really liked it. I gave it 5 stars. It's a dark, gritty, I mean, graphic. It's it's good if you're into that dark thriller, psychological thriller. This is a good one. Um, I know I'm probably gonna like Gone Girl a lot reading it. I really like the movie, but this is about Libby Day was 7 when her mother and her 2 sisters were murdered in the Satan sacrifice of Kinnicky, Kansas. It was in parentheses. That's why I did that. She survived and famously testified that her 15-year-old brother Ben was the killer. 25 years later, the Kill Club, a secret society obsessed with notorious crimes locates Libby and pumps her for details. They hope to discover proof that may free Ben. Libby hopes to turn a profit on her tragic his Libby hopes to turn a profit on her tragic history. She'll reconnect with the players from the night and report her findings to the club for a fee. As Libby searches as Libby's search takes her from shabby Missouri strip clubs to abandoned Oklahoma tourist towns, the unimaginable truth emerges, and Libby finds herself right back where she started, on the run from a killer. That was really good. It did go in an unexpected place. I, I, I didn't guess. I didn't. It was a twist at the end. I was just like, wow, okay, there you go. But yeah, it is a dark thriller. So just it has a lot of dark places. But yeah, it was really good. It wasn't that big. And I don't have sharp objects, but I want to get that one. I hear that one's really good too. And it is, yeah, where is it? It is that it? It's a little bigger than 345 pages. It doesn't look that big. And it was a page turner. I thought it was. So it didn't take that long to read it, really. Um, Even though it shows it took me a while, but like I said, I wasn't having a good reading year so far at that point. But it's a thriller, and also there's audio. If you get the audio, it's 11 hours. But the main character is Libby Day, and then her brother that went to prison is Ben. And then from the crime club that Libby starts to associate herself with is a guy named Lyle. But yeah, this is really cool. Anyway, I really like that one. So that was March. We're almost done. It's going slow. Hoping to speed it up. In April, I read a little bit more. One, two. I read three, not a lot. So, first one I read. So I have the book, but I mostly listened to it on audio, and the audio was 11 hours. And this is Birdman by Mo Hader. I got this off of eBay. Yeah, it's a little worn. This has been ripped. What else? There was a rip back here. I had to tape, but it's a little worn, but I wanted to get the book, and it's an older book. It's from 1999, but I heard about this on I think it was Joanna, Me, My Dog, and Books. She read this or suggested it. Can't remember. I think it was her channel because I never heard of it. But yeah, I liked it. I gave it 3 stars. I'm probably at some point, not anytime soon, but I want to reread it. I actually want to read it. So when I had listened to the audio for most, well, all of it. And a lot of times I find when I'm listening to the audio and I'm doing other things, I don't pay 100% attention to it. And so you kind of lose things. And I'm sure everybody does that. But for me to pay attention to all of it, I have to physically read it. And so this is one I kind of want to go back because I know there's things that I skipped over listening. And I just want to go back one time and actually read it physically, um, to get more detailed. But what I did pay attention to, I really liked. It's a thriller. It is a mystery crime. It has the let's just read it. So some crime, and this is Detective Jack Caffrey. I can't remember if this is a British one. He ends up going. I think this is the one he ends up going to Australia. Or no, I was reading another one. I'm confusing this with another one. Doesn't matter. So this one, see, that's why I need to reread it. Some crimes shock, some crimes horrify, and some defy the imagination. In her mesmerizing novel, Mo Hader steers into a nightmarish world of victims and their victimizer, and of a cop crashing up against his own limits as a man. Detective Jack Caffrey can stare down hardened criminals but can't say goodbye to the woman he no longer loves. Oh yeah, I remember now. He had a girlfriend, he's wanting to get rid of her, and she's just like she's clingy, and he's like, "Man, I can't." Yeah, that was interesting. He couldn't just kick her out. Um, Still haunted by the decades-old murder of his brother, Caffrey slips easily into the case of 5 mutilated women whose corpses found on the outskirts of London. Yeah, it's a British novel. Um, British setting, I should say. Yield a treasure trove of abominations, including the little present found inside their bodies. Caffrey knows his department is looking in the wrong place, but he cannot guess at the forces he's up against, the true darkness of a killer's heart, or the worst revelation of all. For as the manhunt builds to a furious crescendo, a, a killer is cornered. For a terrified city, the nightmare is finally over, or is it? So this is this. I believe there's the series with this detective Caffrey. Um, I think this is the first one, obviously. But yeah, this is from 1999. Birdman. I liked it. Yeah, the one of the I say funny. Maybe it's not so funny if this happened to you, but he has this girlfriend, and to me she seemed like really clingy, and there's something off about she's just I don't know, and he's wanting to break up with her and move out, and he just can't do it. And I'm like, man, just get it together. If you don't want her living there, kick her out. Tell her you don't love her anymore. But I mean, maybe not as rude as that. That probably wouldn't be a good, you know, maybe not do, I wouldn't do it rudely. Uh, anyway, so I really did like it. And like I said, I listened to it on audio, and, it, I do want to reread it physically because I know there's parts that I missed, but it was very interesting. It was a graphic, thriller mystery. Um, the murders especially. Um, but yeah, had a little twist at the end, but it was really good. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about that right now. 3 stars. We're in April. So I'm losing track. And the next one I read was a new one. It came out I think at the end, it was Riley Sager's new one from last year, Middle of the Night. I did give this 3 stars. It was okay. I liked it. I didn't really like it. And I listened to other booktubers, and there was a few that I watched that didn't like this one. Well, there was quite a few that didn't like this one of his, but I gave it 3 stars. So it was okay. So usually my 3 stars is okay and I liked it, but I didn't, I didn't really like it. Yeah. So that one I don't have, but that was a little boy. That was about 2 boys are camping in the backyard at one of their houses. And when the other little boy wakes up, his friend is missing. And there's a cut. Somebody has cut the tent open in the back. And so this kid has disappeared. And then it starts out, it's like, I don't know, 30 years later or so. They never found the kid. He was presumed dead. And so the other little kid is grown up, and he's moved back to town and living in his parents' house. Their parents have, I think his parents moved to Florida. And so he's living in this house, and I think he was a teacher or is a teacher. And he's dealing with all these feelings of what happened a long time ago as a kid, and he's thinking he's seeing the ghost of this kid out on the street at night, maybe. Well, not the ghost, like the lights start turning on and off on the neighborhoods, like motion sensors. And let's see, sure. And so he's thinking there's like maybe a ghost or whatever, he don't know. So he starts investigating like what happened all those years ago, because it's been on his mind, and he can't just put it to bed. He's got to figure it out for his own sanity. Hmm. Anyway, so it went on. It was a little slow at times, and It's supposed to be a suspense thriller mystery, but it was just a mystery. It was a mystery. The ending was a little bit of a surprise, but I think I haven't read very many Riley Sagers, but I think this is maybe what I've heard is a typical Riley Sager as far as maybe what happens at some point with the mystery. I don't know how to explain it without giving things away. But anyway, middle of the night, gave it 3 stars. It was okay. Wasn't one of my faves, but you know, I read it. Um, that's that. And what's the other one? Oh, and the last one I read in April was it's a new one. It came out this year. It was Alice Feeney's new one. It's Beautiful Ugly. Um, I gave it 3 stars. I know a lot of people liked it. It was okay. It wasn't really my I don't know, it's a thriller. I did the audio. It was 9 hours. And I didn't I think I can't remember the last one she wrote cuz I keep getting Daisy Darker. No, I think that was somebody else. Anyway, um Alice Feeney, somebody did the guest list and somebody did Daisy Darker. I read the guest list. I liked it. It was okay. It was still probably I think it was a 3, the same as Beautiful Ugly. But then whoever wrote Daisy Darker, I really like that one. Because for some reason the two writers I get mixed up. Lucy, I can't think. We'll pop it up. And Alice. I get Lucy and Alice mixed up. But yeah, Beautiful Ugly. It's about this. It's a husband and wife. The husband's a writer, and the woman, I can't remember what she does, but they live somewhere kind of out in the country. Um, and he's having a really hard time writing, from what I can remember. Like he hasn't written anything in a while, I think, and he's just in a slump. And she whatever she does, and they don't have any kids. They don't have any kids, and I'm kind of thinking she's wanting kids, or somebody's wanting a kid, maybe. And what happens is the wife's on the way home and she's driving and she calls or he calls her, somebody calls somebody, and there's somebody else. Tells her husband, "Oh, there's somebody out in the middle of the road. Like, I have to go see." And he's like, "No, no, don't get out of the car. Don't just I'll come to you." So he's going to come and meet her and doesn't want her to get whatever it is, the stranger in the middle of the road. They live out in the middle of nowhere. And so when he gets there, his wife's gone. The car's still there. There's nobody in the middle of the road, and he doesn't know what happens to her. So she disappears. And so he ends up his agent, editor, somebody, publisher, says, "Hey, there's this house on this island you can go to if you need to recharge and, work on your writing, just get away and go there." So there's this island. He comes to find this island that he's at. This other author has lived there and he's passed away. And so he's staying at his house that he lived at. And it's just a small island. It's only one way on and one way off. And apparently he's stuck there for a little bit because they're like, "Oh, there's a storm coming. Yeah, the ferry's out or something." Like he couldn't get off the island. He has to stay there. And so he does some writing. Well, he finds this manuscript from this other author that was never published. So because he's having a hard time, he can't think of anything to write. He's going to take this story that this other author wrote and kind of change it up a bit and use it as his own story and see if he can get that published, because he's also in debt and he needs money. And yeah, so anyway, so this whole story about his wife disappearing, and he comes to this island and some strange things are happening there, and he thinks he sees his wife his wife on the island, and then yeah, so that's the way it went, and it was just kind of like, nah, for me. It was all right. The twist at the end was like I didn't like it. I I didn't like it. It didn't I didn't like it. That's all I'm gonna say. The end. I didn't like it. It I mean, yeah, I didn't like it. So it was okay. It was definitely not a favorite, but Beautiful Ugly, Alice Feeney. Sorry, Alice. Um, so this is May, our last one, and there's only 2 books. Boy, this is a long video. Um, so first one here is Lincoln in California. It's a nonfiction by Brian McGinty. I really like this book. I'm in California. I'm from California. Grew up, born, raised, lived California. So this is interesting. There's things, I mean, obviously growing up in California in school, you learn about California history. So there's some things that talks about that I roughly could remember learning in school, but then there's other things they talk about that I had no idea. And it's basically the president, the war, and the Golden State. It's like how California is connected to not maybe Lincoln's ideas of what he wants, and with the Civil War and him becoming president, and how California, the people and the government's um, influence in, I guess, help with the Civil War. But it is basically the ties that bound Abraham Lincoln to California and California to Lincoln have long been overlooked by historians. Although the great Civil War president has been the subject of thousands of books, his important relationship with the Western state, both before and during the war, the part it played in bringing on the great conflict, and the help it gave him in winning it, have been little described and imperfectly understood. In Lincoln in California, Brian McGinty explains the relationship between the president and the Golden State, describing important events that took place in California and elsewhere during Lincoln's lifetime. He includes the histories of Lincoln's close friends and personal acquaintances who made history as they went to California, lived there, and helped keep it part of the imperiled Union. So basically, the Civil War, when they're talking about in history, states having us being a slave state or a non-slave state, and dividing s- states up like that was a problem. They Some people didn't want any more slave states. They didn't want slavery. They just wanted slavery to stay in the South. Some people wanted slavery and thought that they could choose if the state could choose if they wanted to be a slave state. Anyway, so that's all that. And Lincoln's ideas about California, actually what I didn't know was Lincoln really he never got to go to California. He never got to visit California. He had heard about once he had heard about it, he really wanted to visit California, and he thought that maybe when his presidency was done that he would retire and he would go live in California because he heard a lot of good things about California. He liked the idea of California. He liked where California was. And he had his friends that lived in California, the people that were in the government there that became his friends. And there was people that he knew from since a young age that had moved to California and lived along the coast of California, Oregon, in there. And just the people how he connected, that was uh government people, and going to Washington from California and getting I don't know, other political jobs in either Washington or other places. Anyway, so it was really good. I learned some stuff about Lincoln, about how he ran for president. I think before he won the presidency, like I want to say he ran twice before and he lost. Um, and be like, man, he didn't give up. And then the problems he had with other political figures, and then the politics, and it does go over uh obviously him being assassinated, and the what California was after the Civil War. So there were some things in here about talked about. There's a town close to me that it actually talks about the news, because this area was very the about an hour away, Sacramento. There's Sutter's Fort, which is where the area where gold was found. I think it was Sutter's Fort. I want to say Sutter's Fort. We go on a, I don't know if they still do it. I know as a kid it was a field trip. We would go to Sutter's Fort, and you get to pan for gold, and then only gold you find is fake gold. You can't find anything. So there is the newspaper that was in this area, that was a prominent newspaper, and it was reporting things about Lincoln and the Civil War, back to the people in California. And also, what's the other thing I had? There was also, of course, there's talks about President Zachary Taylor. I'm related to President Zachary Taylor, FYI, a distant relative, but has a little bit of talking about Zachary Taylor, President Zachary Taylor, which I was more than happy to hear. Because actually, even though I'm distantly related, I know very little about Zachary Taylor. Um, Zachary Taylor, it's on my dad's side, his grandmother's side. But yeah, it talks about San Francisco. Of course, that was a big area at the time. California was admitted to the Union in 1850. And yeah, it just has a lot of information about obviously California and different things. And there's places that it mentions in here that I've been to, or I live close by, or whatever. And then how, you know, Lincoln in California. That's pretty much it. Lincoln and California. But yeah, I really did like this book. I did give it a 4 star. It's a nonfiction. It's 264 pages. It's not that long. Um, History about California, Civil War, Lincoln. It was really good. And then the last one was a new one by Stephen Graham Jones. I had been anxiously waiting for. And I was so excited because the last Stephen, so this is Buffalo Hunter Hunter. This came out 2025. Can't remember what month it came out. Hmm, April. Maybe it came out in May or April. Maybe April, because I started it April. It took me a little while, but not because of the book. I really like this book. I gave it 4 stars. Um, I like this way better than the one that came out last year of his. That I was a teenage slasher. I was really excited for a teenage slasher to come out. I was excited. I had high hopes because there's a few Stephen Graham Jones books I've read that I really liked. So I had high hopes for that. I did not. I did not like I was a teenage. Sorry, Stephen. I did not like I was a teenage slasher. I it didn't go well for me. I think I gave that a 2 star. So I was a little scared when Buffalo Hunter Hunter was going to come out. I was really excited. I liked the cover. It was great. And it was a historical perspective. And so I thought that should keep me captivated. Um but I was worried because I didn't like the last one, so I thought, "Oh god, what if this one goes the same way?" But I really did like this one. I did. It takes a little bit of getting used to because of the language, how it is, but it's using a language from old days, um, in particular. So I kind of am familiar with a little bit of it. We'll um just have read things and just reading history and stuff. So it wasn't that difficult of a read as far as language wise. There was no barrier. And I'm not talking, it's in English, but it's just the way it's written is a little different. I don't know how to. a historically speaking. But if you can get over that, and this is a horror thriller one, and it was graphic at times, like Stephen Graham Jones does, and yeah, I really liked it. It was a historical perspective, and it had a new twist on things, and it was there's a somebody is hunting the buffalo hunters. So in history, if you don't know, the plains in the American plains area used to be filled with buffalo. I mean, millions of buffalo roamed the plains area back in the day. And then when the white people came and then the hunters, they started killing all of these buffalo. And they didn't kill the buffalo like the Indians killed the buffalo for survival, for food, for clothes. They used every bit, the Native American used every bit of the buffalo for their survival, for food, for clothing, for whatever. I mean, it was all used and they didn't overhunt. And um the white man came and he seen that he would get money for these buffalo fur and maybe if some other thing. It was for the hide, the fur. Um, they would just kill the buffalo, and I've seen historical pictures of this. It's very sad and just gross that people would do this. That they just hunted and hunted and they hunted the buffalo to extinction. There is um another I don't know if they're calling there's another word for the buffalo. I call it buffalo, but it's not. It, there's another word that they another name. I can't think of it right now. But anyway, so yeah, they just hunted the buffalo. The white man hunted the buffalo for the fur and along was trying to, you know, kill off all the Indians and move them out of the way so they could have all the stuff for themselves. Um, that they they just left these buffalo out in the field, skinned and rotting and no need for anything else. And the Indians were, you know, moved, extracted, killed off, a lot of them starving in different areas. They don't have their food to hunt. Anyway, so that's a historical little bit of the historical knowledge that comes with the hunting the buffalo. So this is a story about this uh someone is going off and killing these buffalo hunters. They're non-Indian buffalo hunters, so that someone is. You don't know who it is, and then you have this guy show up at. So there's a priest, a reverend that's in this small town, and this, they have a church, and this reverend there, he's worked in the church, and he has a church on Sundays. A small group of um, the town comes to his church every Sunday. And one day this guy comes into his church and he sits in the back and he's like, oh, and then he sees that he's a Native American, which this never happens, right? But, well, kind of, but not. Um, and so they end up starting up a conversation. The native guy knows some English, and so they start up a conversation, and he starts telling him this priest reverend his story. He starts telling him the story, and so he expects him to come every week, and so the story goes on, the story goes on, and so the mystery of the who's hunting these buffalo hunters, and who this native person is, and how the reverend's connected. And then at the beginning too, there's like a story within the story. So there is a relative of this reverend that finds, I don't know if it's she a relative. I think she's a relative. She finds this journal hidden somewhere, and so she turns it over to this archivist person. They're trying to copy it and clean it up because it's a journal from the times of 18 whatever year it is. And so they want to keep it and they want to preserve it. And she's just wanting to know what it says in this journal. So they're giving her copies. She has copies and she's reading this journal. And so as she's reading this journal, then the story comes out within the story of what this reverend had written in his journal and how it came about. But anyway, Buffalo Hunter, I really liked it. Stephen Graham Jones. He renewed my faith in this one. It was a 4 star. It is a horror thriller, but I really enjoyed it. So that, my friends, is the end of my book reviews. Oh, it's a long one again. I try to keep it short, but I'm a yapper. But yeah, so that's all I have. That I am caught up for the year on my book reviews. And so when August is over, whatever we have there will be reviewed. And I will say, what happened here? Okay, things have come apart. Um, I what was I saying? Oh, I'm not going to give you update. I'm still reading Catfight. Uh, it's moving along. I'm over. I actually got the audio. I signed up for Audible was doing a deal like 3 months for $6.95 or something. So I ended up getting that. And so I have the audiobook for Catfight. So I'm listening to the audio now. I only have like 2 or 3 hours left if I do the audio. And it's getting good. I will say it's the mystery. I uncovered a mystery about the cat. I'm not going to give you away spoilers, but I will come back hopefully on Thursday, maybe. If not Thursday, this next Tuesday, and update you on Catfight. I should be done by then because, like I said, I only have a couple hours left on the audio. And mhm, it's reading like a Desperate Housewives. Have you ever seen that show? That's what I'm thinking. It's like Desperate Housewives, and it's interesting. I like it. I'm really liking it. But yeah, so that's where we're at. Thanks for coming by. Hopefully I'll be here Thursday. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be here Thursday. I might have to go to town, so can't do too many things in one day, right? Uh, but yeah, so have a good rest of your week. We're having tacos today for dinner. If you don't know, it's Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. By the time you see this video, it's probably going to be at late at night, and Taco Tuesday will be over. But you can have them the next day. Okay, thanks. Thanks for coming by, and we'll see you next time.